There's like this real life fear in not becoming your most optimal self. And you just want to tap in so bad. Like you just want to be the fucking thing already. You want to have the fucking shit already, but you're not there yet. I mean, how is it possible for the thing that's not aligned with you to feel more natural than the thing that is? And when you're living your day to day, that's going to feel aligned because your nervous system is used to it, is regulated through that way. But when you start doing the thing that calls you to be different than you've ever been, that feels like complete stupidity. It feels like a waste of time, and you feel like you're not really going to go anywhere. Your brain even says, like, oh, you've done that before and it never worked out in the past. But the time in which you do something actually does make a huge difference. It's kind of like traffic. If you leave the house at a certain time, you know that you're going to miss all the rush hour traffic, right? But if you wait a few minutes, you're like, I'm going to hit traffic now. Life is the same way. It's not about what you're doing, it's about when you're doing it and if it's aligned timing, if it's the right divine purpose at that moment. And I was actually talking to ChatGPT today about like, how do you know the difference between being stagnant and being patient, because sometimes they can both come off as the same thing. When you're being patient, it feels like I know I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I just have to trust the process. I got to keep showing up. I know like it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything, but I'm covering every basis possible. But when you're being stagnant, it's kind of like you're thinking about it, but you're not taking any actions. For me, that looks like I think about mindset a lot. I think about coaching a lot, but what am I actually doing to improve my skills or get me closer to that? Nothing. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just collecting data at that point. That's stagnation. You know what I mean? You have the desire, but you're not doing anything about it. Versus patience, you're doing everything you can. You're just not seeing the results yet. And they can get so muddled. They can get so confusing because I think for a long time, I thought that I was taking action because I was doing the little things, right? I'll post a video here or there about like what I ate in the day or about my fitness. But when it came down to what I really wanted to do, which is motivate people, I wasn't doing anything about that. I wasn't doing research on how I can be better at that. I wasn't really building that version of me. And it created such a resistance in my everyday life because I'm doing all these things. I'm putting in a lot of work, but in truth, I'm not doing anything. So it felt like I wasn't doing anything, but I was exhausted from doing a lot. And another one that stood out to me when going through this phase, like, how come it feels like there's this gold being dangled in front of my face? And I'm like, how do I get it? Like, where I don't know my purpose. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's like, your purpose is found in you taking the little small steps every single day. It's not like, oh, bam, big picture, that's my purpose. You kind of got to be willing to be in the unknown, to be uncomfortable, to do the small things, to see how they play out, and then go from there. If you're not able to do the small things, see how they play out. If it stick, if it doesn't stick, and you just want to get to the end goal immediately, you're not going to get there. But what I liked is that it said, if you are aware enough to know that you're misaligned, if you're aware enough to know that you want more, you don't really have to worry as much about regression or not progressing, because at some point you're going to push yourself a little bit more, or you're just going to get so fucking uncomfortable in that gap that you're going to end up doing something about it. So if you're at that place where you're like, I just know that I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I can't take dramatic changes to figure everything out or to do the next thing. All you can do is the smallest real life everyday step. So am I doing the most that I can do in this moment? And that's such a real ask question to ask yourself, like, am I taking as much action as I can in this moment? And when I asked myself that, I wasn't. I was playing it safe. I was being small minded. I was really letting my belief systems of being seen, not being enough, not knowing enough hold me back. And even the fear of when I cut the camera on, the words not flowing exactly how I want them to be. But it's being willing to come on, not know, keep going, and then being like, bam. Because I feel like a lot of us get to see the end results. A lot of us get to see what happens when people, I've been looking right here this whole time, so I hope that works. But now I'm looking here, I don't know. Anyways, I feel like a lot of us see the end results of people constantly showing up, and then they're like, yeah, I was writing in my journal, and now I look back on that and it's like it happened. But this in between phase, this like transitioning from I have no fucking clue, I just know what I deeply desire and I know it's supposed to be mine, because how the fuck can I have such a strong feeling towards something? How can I imagine it so deeply, be so in tune and tapped in with it, and then for it to not be mine? It just seems like torture because of that gap. And that feeling in itself is like, I know it's meant for me, but I don't think enough people show you how to go from what the fuck is happening, how do I get there, I feel like I can't hear my intuition, I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I'm stagnant, I'm not aligned, I'm all these things. But at the same time, I feel like I am aligned, I'm not stagnant because I'm taking action. In the end, you might be misaligned in the sense of you're not living out your full purpose and you're not taking enough action to show yourself that you are. And that can be something as small as posting a video, or if it's a fitness journey, start walking, or if it's, eating habits, eat one better healthy meal for the day. If it's relationships and learning about yourself so you can become a better communicator in that relationship. Like, it could be those small things that starts to tell your brain, okay, that gap is closing. And then as far as like, I know I'm supposed to have this third in life, but I'm here. It's bridging to like, okay, this is not my forever. Like, yeah, I'm doing this job, but that's not my forever. So it releases the resistance that you feeling like, why aren't I where I'm supposed to be? It's like, okay, I'm just here, versus if you don't think that way, you're going to feel stuck and you're going to hate it and you're going to spiral and you're going to be like, I need to quit my job right now, right now, right now, which is really anxiety, not intuition. So separating the difference between intuition and anxiety. Intuition is calm, quiet. Anxiety is crazy loud. Do something now. Stagnation versus patience. Patience is like, I'm doing everything that I can. Stagnation is like, I'm barely meeting the mark, but you're still exhausted because mentally you're doing everything. You're thinking about all the things, you're taking all the mental steps, but you're not taking any external steps. So it feels like a lot, but it's really stagnation because there's no actions being made. And taking action doesn't have to be this huge thing. It can be the smallest thing, like whatever your goal is, one real life thing you can do now to get you to where you're trying to go. And that you may not have money to spend on a whole bunch of things. So it's not about spending money. I think in my mind, whatever you're supposed to do now, you have access to it. If you start thinking about things and you don't have access to it and it seems too hard, it's because that's not the next step. That's just your anxiety saying, do something now, get us out of here now. But whatever you're supposed to do, you actually will have the resources and the ability to do it. And then the other part is like this fear, like, what do I do with the fear if I'm not doing enough? Like, I'm taking the small steps that I need to. Why do I feel this way? I'm going to deep breathe and regulate myself and calm my body to understand I don't have to quit my job to prove to me that I'm not aligned with my job. I can just recognize this is not my forever. I don't have to up and move if I have no actual plan. And sometimes you don't have a plan. Sometimes going into the unknown is beautiful. And if you can do that safely, not safely in the means where there's no confusion or there's no mystery behind it, no, but safely in the sense where you're not going to end up homeless. And you know what? Some people do end up homeless, and that's how their stories start. So I guess you got to take with a grain of salt what that even looks like a safety means. But you don't have to do this extraordinary thing to prove to yourself that you're doing the right thing. You just got to find like the courage. And with intuition, what I'm learning is the more you practice listening to it, the stronger and the louder it gets, in a sense. So for me, I'm such a logical person. I've always been logical out of fear of regression, ending up in a situation I don't want to be in based off my upbringing, which is a different story. Out of trying to avoid that, I tend to not take action enough unless I understand the whole entire output. So now that I want to hear my intuition, it's a little quieter because I've been so logic for so long. So intuition for me is like, okay, I'm going to post this video even though I have no idea what's going to happen. And I just like doing this type of stuff, and we'll see how it lands. And we're not going to worry about edits, and we're not going to worry about any of those things. We're just going to nudge ourselves. And we're doing it to build our intuition, to actually build our confidence too. So for you, that may look like, excuse me, if you wanted to go on more dates or something, maybe that's downloading a dating site. If you wanted to go on less dates and become more self-aware, maybe that's cutting out doom strolling and just sitting in silence or trying meditation or whatever it may be. It may look different for different people, but just eliminating the fear component and getting more tapped into your intuition so you can actually feel like you're being led And then when you do the thing that felt weird, but you want to build your intuition, you congratulate yourself, because self-love and love in general is the biggest way to connect to the universe, to the quantum field, and all those things. And for me, I think the next step is going to be actually post this video, create the page, post the video, and then start doing some research on. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge, but for me, the fear of like, I don't sound like the rest of them, I don't use the right terminology and all those things, and maybe that'll be my like superpower, but I just want to be able to back up whatever I say, and I want to tap more into this version of me. So it's not necessarily even about grabbing knowledge when I do research. It's more so I can align with that, so my brain and my mind can understand, like, oh, she is really viewing herself as this person, because that version of me would be looking up information. And then also, like I already said, next steps will be regulating myself by, even if I'm working on whatever I'm doing that I feel like is not aligned with my next life journey or whatever it may be, I can understand it's not my forever, it's my for now. And it wasn't needed, or if it was actually no benefit in it, then it would be removed and something else would be coming in. So I can trust the process, especially if I'm doing everything that I think I can do in this moment. Everything else is not within my control. It's in divine timing. It's in the hands of the universe, in the hands of God. It's beyond me. And I just have to do what I need to do in this moment. And the same thing goes for you. I'm going to say this now because I said the whole story first. So it's a backtrack, a little introduction of like the becoming you, or no, I don't really like that. It's like discovering you. That's pretty much what this is about, discovering you. So welcome to the Discovering You podcast, and I hope I continue to make these videos. Yeah, that sounded kind of weird, but we'll see how it lands, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And if you actually like this first one, or if you got this far in the video, like it, subscribe, comment. I don't even know. That sounds so fucking weird. My stomach cringes. It's like, girl, what the fuck are you even talking about? But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, putting our hands up. You got this. Look at that. We got. Okay. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Are we wrapped?
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Woo!
That's it.